friends. This is, Angels Light Your Way with MaryAiñe Curtis and my angel team. And I'm delighted to greet you today on March 14th. I'm sure it's like Ides of March or something. I have so many things happening this month. It's been quite fun and erratic and packed with fun things and good things. So, welcome to the show. Let's begin with an angel invocation. And so, wherever you are, if you are able to just take a minute to empty your lap, empty your hands, take a little bit of time to just settle into your chair as you take a deep breath with me. And we will step into the sanctuary of our mind's eye. Breathe in the wonderful atmosphere of our inner Earth Mother. Allow yourself to settle in with full support of the Earth Mother below, Father Sky above, and feel nestled and safe between the two. In your mind's eye, envision your own sanctuary. It may be a beautiful meadow near a body of water, or a mountain with a beautiful stream running to a pond of warm water. See the beautiful foliage, the textures, the smell of the flowers and earth. Hear the mother, the churning and the rumbling of her inner core, this deep, deep down, as she acknowledges that you are accepting and loving her, sending her good wishes. So notice the smells of the flowers, the beautiful foliage, the textures, and the smell of the earth. Feel the grass, what's underneath you. Hear the birds and crickets. Hear the flutter of wings and the wind in the leaves of the trees. We recognize the directions of the east, of the north, of the west, of the south, above and below. Now feel the presence of angels surrounding you. I call on the archangels Michael, the archangel Ariel, the archangel Raphael, archangel Gabriel, the archangel Sandalphon, and the archangel Metatron. Thank you for gathering here with us in support of this show, of this time on this Wednesday. With intention, now feel the presence of your angels. Any concern that you may have, any questions you may want to ask, feel assured that the answers will come to you when you ask the angels for their assistance. And now bring your attention to the current time and space as we begin our talk for today. Thank you for joining us with Angels Light Your Way as you connect with your angels and receive their intuitive guidance. Today I have a topic that I'd like to talk about that the angels are especially helpful with. And it is something that came to my attention, quite a few years ago, with the energy that is building. Now we're in very uncertain times. We don't know what the leaders of the countries are doing. And sometimes we just have to let it go. Give it to God and let go. And so with a God box, if you've heard of a God box, you can use that as a way of letting go by taking the fears that you have, the concerns that you have, and in this God box, you can make something really pretty, and also you are able to make it into something that will be nice for you. Not too big, not too small, but what you will do is you'll write down intentions that you have, and it's like prayer energy that you will put on a slip of paper, and whatever it is, you can write as much or as little as you want, but how do I accept what's going on and not let it drive me crazy or hurt me in some way, or I get so stressed out I can't sleep at night. There's a couple of things that I think are important is to go on a negativity diet. And a negativity diet I will talk about in a little bit. Yeah, it's letting go of all that awfulizing. So we've got a God box, we've got a negativity diet, and we are going to turn down the volume on the stress that is bothering us. So let's begin with, we'll talk a little bit about the God box. So let me go deeper into that. The God box is a tool that you can use, that you can put prayer energy into. You can literally write down concerns that you have, things that you don't know what to do about. Maybe there's nothing you can do about. And so what you are asking really is that I be given a reprieve from thinking about this stuff, because it's wrecking my sleep. I worry about it all the time. I find myself constantly chewing on the details, and actually it's totally out of my hands. I talk to my friends all about it, and they're tired of hearing about it. So let's do this. Simply get a piece of paper out. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be the back of a grocery receipt. Super simple. It could be, you could use a crock or a plastic container if you want, or an actual box. Maybe you have a beautiful box you would like to give over for this purpose. And you can decorate it if you want. You can make the inside pretty. You can really have fun with making this a very special box. And so when you take your paper and you write, okay, what's an example? Gosh, every time there's news, I'm riveted to the TV, and I am tired of listening to the news or the same thing being repeated over and over, because it scares me. It makes me feel stressful. So this is a prime example of something to put in the God box. So you write down something like, the president of our country is handling things to the best of his ability. I cannot worry about this anymore. And so I'm turning it over to my angels. I'm turning it over to God. And I expect, my intention is that the resolution comes. And the resolution is better than I even imagined. So the outcome is also better than I even imagined. And that is one thing. Now, you might have habits that you want to break. And so, okay, you're going to write down on a new piece of paper that, let's say you want to stop eating snack food too much. Maybe you eat snack food all the time instead of bringing a healthy lunch to work with you. And so you grab chips or you grab a candy bar or things like that instead of actually having a good sandwich or a cup of soup. You write down on a piece of paper that something like my wish and desire is to be healthier, to eat healthier food that really nourishes my body. And thank you for helping me remember to choose healthy food so that I bring my lunch to work with me and then I'm not so tempted. Now, this is too long. Let's go back. So see, you can make it too long and then it gets too complicated. So let's start with I'm releasing my habit of eating junk food when I'm hungry. Okay? That's one piece of paper. Next piece of paper. I make a good lunch so that I eat healthy and feel better. That's one whole piece of paper. You put that in the God box. So you're making an intention that this is happening now. A new piece of paper, if you need it for this particular topic, is, let me see, I'm eating really well now and I feel really good. Once in a while, I will give myself a treat of an ice cream cone or my favorite chocolate candy bar and feel good about it because I've done so well. This is a reward for me to have a really special chocolate bar or really special ice cream cone, not just a cheap one. Get something that is, it costs you a few dollars, so it's really a good reward. And part of what you're doing is you're actually training yourself to eat better, to eat more nutritious food, and to take your lunch with you to work or your dinner, whatever shift you're working on, and then at least once a week, maybe twice, it's up to you, reward yourself with a really good treat, a really good dessert, that something that you wouldn't normally get even, like a creme brulee, something like that from a restaurant that you wouldn't necessarily have as your snack food, but it's a special treat. So you're rewarding yourself, and you're giving yourself an atta-girl, an atta-boy. You're doing really good. I feel good. Wow, this is great. This is great. Now, this has helped you by putting in these goals into the God box so that you are able to allow your angel team to support you, because they get the message right away that you're asking for support, and they love to support you in the way that they can. And, of course, they're always wanting to help you make the best choices for you. So, okay, let's take another habit. So what would that be? Oh, maybe chewing your fingernails. How's that one? That is one that when I get nervous, I chew my fingernails. So here's a new piece of paper, and you're writing down, let's see, I no longer need to chew my fingernails. I've discovered a better outlet for my stress. So that's a whole piece of paper. So what would a better outlet be? Well, instead of chewing your fingernails when you get nervous, what if you started thinking about the things you're grateful for? Instead of worrying about what you're stressed about, start thinking about the things that you're grateful for. And pretty soon you're going to write a piece of paper that says something like, I'm grateful for the fact that I no longer chew my fingernails. That's very cool. Smoking is another big habit that people have. So smoking, you want to be smoke-free. And so that also requires doing some inner work around what is it that makes you want to smoke. When do you smoke? When you are nervous, worried about something, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. When you smoke, what are you bored? Are you worried? Is it because somebody else lit up? And so, you don't know for sure if you want to not smoke or you do want to, it's a tug, it's a pull. And so if you take the time to, even in that moment when you're feeling that, oh man, I wish I had a smoke, and just grab any piece of paper, maybe you have a notebook, write out, I am creating a healthier environment for my lungs, for my body, for my mind, by letting go of my desire to smoke. And as you write that, you're affirming that you don't need to smoke the cigarette. You want to, but you don't need to. And as you get further and further away from smoking that cigarette, it will become easier and easier once you've stacked up a number of days. You won't want to smoke anymore because you're breathing easier, you're not wheezing, you feel more energy. And yes, you do have emotions that come up. And so let's move into another part of what I want to talk about today, and that is a negativity diet. And so a negativity diet is something that is when you stop awfulizing about things. Now, there's someone at my door, so let's see. Hi, I am on a call. Do you want some wheatgrass? Sure. Yeah, I'll bring it. Thanks. My neighbor wants to bring me some wheatgrass. He must have heard me talking about healthy food. Okay, so a negativity diet, watch your thoughts. What happens when you're feeling, we're back to this, halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. What do your thoughts start doing? They start spiraling downward because your brain needs food, your body needs food, you probably need a nap, you need some rest. And what's making you angry? What is it that you're chewing on? You don't know what to do something about, or somebody bugs you and you're just tired of it. You don't know what to say, and you don't want to just blow up at them. You want to have a conversation. So all these things are things that run around in our head, and the angels, boy, they are excellent at helping us with this, the negativity diet. So one of your angels, you put them on board as you're the one who helps me notice when I start awfulizing, when I start saying stuff about somebody, when I start gossiping, when I'm not feeling good and so I want to talk poorly about somebody else and put them down so I feel better. Maybe you're snapping at your family and you don't feel good, so you're going to yell at them. Well, you ask your angel, in fact, tell your angel, this is a command, to when I start doing that you just put food in front of my face. You help me see that, wow, you need to eat. You need to stop and rest. No more coffee for you. You've had enough. No more stimulants. You've had enough. It's time to fuel your body with whatever it needs. So what are you, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And your angels, they will give you the thought that, wow, eat that apple, eat that orange. Just take the time. Oh, I'm too busy. I can't do that. Well, of course you can. It takes less than 2 minutes to peel an orange or eat an apple. Of course you can do that. And so making excuses for helping yourself is a negative habit. It doesn't fly with, it just doesn't fly. It's you are fooling yourself. You're lying to yourself that you don't have time. So you make time to nourish your own body. So the negativity diet is something that you are going to want to do if you find yourself watching too much news. That gets us stressed out every time because we don't know what's going on. I mean, we can see what the news tells us. We know there are superpowers out there with their leadership, their presidents and dictators and kings and queens and oh my gosh, there's all these nuclear threats. You know, they all want nuclear warheads and gee whiz, this is crazy. It's like, do they want to blow up the earth? Probably not really, but they all want that big bomb that they can have. And so if that is upsetting to you, and it should be, it's horribly upsetting to me, but the only thing I can do is to let my representatives in Washington know my views. And so I must call them, write them, say, hey, this is not good. These guys are going a little too power crazy. Their egos are out of control. I've got to express my opinions to my congressmen and my senators so they know how I feel. I'm one of their constituents. They are public servants. That is what they do. They work for us. So do something about it. Don't just mull it over and talk to people ad nauseum about the horrors of it. Sit down and write those letters and be an activist. Be active about what is bothering you. Okay, so the next thing that I really love, and I don't always remember myself, but I love it when I do, is I have a monitor in my head that it's kind of like a stereo monitor, that there's treble and bass and volume and balance, except this one is for thoughts and feelings and the stuff that I let bother me. So imagine this in front of you. You might even draw one. You could draw one, a little gauge like the dashboard of your car. It could be something like that. And there is a volume meter, and it can have all these different types of emotions that are sad, happy, angry, lonely, melancholy, so happy, joyful, blissful, depressed. The different feelings that you're not sure what you want to do, unsure, or there'll be words that fit you. And so take a piece of paper and write these down and make for yourself, so you can see it tangibly, a dashboard that would be like a monitor, like a musical monitor, and you can have the dials, or you can make circles that represent the dials, and it's like, what are the things that you want to put on this monitor? So what would you want to have a dial to turn the volume down on? Each thing that you write down will have its own volume dial. And so if you want to turn the volume down on sadness, for instance, you would be able to, in your mind or even physically, you can pretend you have a monitor in front of you and turn the volume down. And turn the volume down on anger. turn the volume down on anxiety. Turn the volume down on whatever emotions you're having that are not helping you right now. And as you turn the volume down, also know that you can raise the volume on feelings that you do want to have, such as fun, happy, joy, bliss. You can turn the volume up on those feelings so that you invite more into your life. And then you practice it. You practice having more joy by smiling with people and greeting people and helping them, jump up, help them grab groceries or the door, or take their cart back for them at the store. Things like that. There's little things you can do all the time to help people. So I'm going to take a sip of water. I'll be just a minute. Thank you. So think about what kind of things have people done for you that have made you feel really good? When you feel really good, then it's like throwing a pebble in a pond. People feel it energetically. When you feel good, you smile at more people. When you're worried and you're upset, you don't even notice other people. We're in our own little bubble when we're upset. And if we're ruminating over things, we're in our own space. And so we don't interact with people as much because we're kind of feeling sorry for ourselves. And so when you turn the volume down on that, that victim part is what you want to turn the volume down on. And then being proactive, being helpful, being a good neighbor, you want to turn the volume up on that. You interact with people very differently than when you're upset. You're happy to help people. You're happy to engage with them, and you feel good about it. And you have a smile on your face. You stand up taller. You're breathing deeper. See, when you feel good about what's going on, everything in your body says yes to feeling good. And so you can have a volume meter for that you can even have it in numbers, from like 1 to 10 or 0 to 100, however in depth you want it to be. So then you could draw a graph of how your day's going, how yesterday went, how tomorrow will go. And as you accumulate these, you can look back on it and feel like, wow, I really made progress. Because look at all the things I achieved while I was there, or the things that I made, instead of just being quiet and to yourself. The volume meter also works for the mind chatter. When your brain is going too fast and all these different stories are kind of colliding in your head, and you get confused because you don't know which one, you're just moving too fast and you have too many things to do. Sometimes I get there, and I've got to stop. I've got to just stop and go, okay, I can only do one thing at a time, and I need to finish that before I start something else. It's a little bit of adult ADD, and I have practiced these things that I talk about, because with the adult ADD, I'll start something and then I'll notice something else and I'll go to that and, I don't know, clean that, and then think, oh, I've got to start a load of laundry, but I haven't finished what I originally started, and I'm trying to eat, and I bounce around from different things trying to get everything done, and it's okay, I've got to stop. I've got to reset my brain, myself, and what is it that I need to do? Well, today I kind of did that. I went I met with a client, And then on the way back, I went and dropped off some things at my daughter's, and then I went to the grocery store and actually bought a few things that were not on the list. And I then went to Target and was looking for several things. So it's a huge story. I just kind of wandered around. But see, all day my phone has not been working right. It's been shutting off, and it was totally out of battery, even though it was fully charged this morning. It's just messing up. And I forgot to bring the external batteries. So I'm fussing with the phone, and it's not working. I finally realized what was wrong, plugged it into the car, but it's not a fast enough charge. Went into Target. Now it's probably 1:30. I haven't really eaten anything except for protein bars. So I'm starting to get low blood sugar, and just kind of I wasn't like on a focused shopping in there. I was kind of wandering around, and by the time I left, it was 3 o'clock, and I still really hadn't eaten anything. So I immediately bought a sandwich to eat and then felt much better. But see, that's something that, okay, here's what happened. My best friend stopped by as I was getting ready to leave. Somebody else stopped over. They needed something. There was confusion going on as I was trying to get ready to go meet this client. And so there's things I forgot, like the external battery for the phone, and making extra food. I didn't bring anything with me to eat, and I always do. There's things that I forgot to do because there was confusion, and I didn't know. I just kind of went and figured it'd all be okay. But when I get low on food, my brain gets foggy, and so I'm not thinking really clearly, and I need to put food in there, not just a candy bar or something like that, but real food. And it's really important if you're hypoglycemic or diabetic. And now I'm feeling like, okay, I ate a good sandwich and I want to take a nap. But I don't have time to take a nap because then it was time, to do my show. See, I am talking about things that I practice usually. Today I am seeing the effects of when I don't practice them well because there was too much confusion happening in my home as I was trying to leave to meet a client. And so I forgot things. So let's see. There's a lot of rain coming in. It's a really, really good thing. I'm planning on going up on a trip up to Oregon to see my grandsons, and that's a really good thing. And I had another interesting thing happen to me the other day. I was bit by a spider in 2 places, on my hand and on my back. I didn't know that I was bit at first because it doesn't necessarily hurt for 6 to 8 hours. Now, by the next morning, there was a red spot. I could see that clearly, about the size of a pea, and another one on my back. It was kind of a sting. Well, the next day, the one on my hand was as big as a nickel, and the one on my back stayed about the same. But the one on my hand, I was at a symposium, so I was very busy. I had another radio show to do that day, and I was working, and every time I would put a Band-Aid, it would get bigger than the pad and the Band-Aid. I don't know why that happened, but it grew to about the size of a 50-cent piece. Now, it's looking much better than it did, but it has affected my energy and even my thoughts a little bit. So my body feels like it's fighting a virus. And if you've had cold, flu, that kind of a thing, you know what it feels like when you're fighting something. You just feel tired and lethargic. And that's kind of how I was feeling. And so it's really silly for me to not eat sooner. That's my point about this for today, because I had these different challenges happen, and I know that my body's working really hard to overcome this bite, and, you know, it's one of the spiders that makes you sick. I mean, not deathly ill, but bad enough to go to the doctor and find out about it. And so I'm feeling a little bit fuzzy today. It's just in my head. It's feeling a little bit fuzzy. But because I like to find meanings for things, I will use my angel cards or my medicine cards to help me discern what the message is. So at the beginning of the show, I drew a couple cards, but I wanted to draw one card that would tell me about the spider bite out of the angel cards and see what the angel cards have to say about a spider bite. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And then if anyone is there and wants to have a mini reading, then we will do that. We'll have a mini reading for you. And so here's what's coming up. This is what I kind of surprised. So it's the card that's the Knight of Air, and it's showing an angel male on a unicorn, a white steed, beautiful, with his golden saber, his golden sword, and he has beautiful clothes on, and he is in a magical forest. And so the card is talking about all the things, the events that are happening, so many things that is just so fast. It really makes our head spin sometimes what's going on in the news and the media and the information that keeps pouring out of us, pouring out of the radios and TVs and newspapers and magazines, all of those things. And so this is saying to take time to carefully review your options and come up with creative solutions. Events that occur with great speed. This card also has a lot of little lights in it, like fairy lights in a forest behind it with sun dappling onto the ground. And so, okay, there's some idealism. There's some decisions to be made. It's drawing on inner intelligence. Tireless. What are the stories that I'm telling myself? Now, the medicine cards, the spider is, she's the one who, according to Native Indian lore, she wove the web of life. And she also began to create the alphabet so that when she wove her web, they could discern letters. And when she was asked why she was creating letters when they already had petroglyphs, she said the new people will not understand how to read the petroglyphs. So she's creating letters that they can form words to communicate with. And so when a bite happens to you, what's the animal medicine that it's representing? Spider weaves stories. Spider is very tenacious, very resilient, very smart, and it's very crafty as well, weaving stories that will help others. And so when you see a spider web, it's woven to catch insects. Some spiders are very good, and that's what they do. They eat insects. Their jaws are not big enough to bite a human. Some of the spiders, like The wolf spider maybe could bite me, but I like wolf spiders. I don't think they would bite me unless I rolled over on them. But they eat lots of flies and insects, and so I think they're good spiders. The daddy long-leggeds, they build big old webs and they catch lots of flies, and so they kind of manage the insects. The ones that are biters are the black widow, the brown recluse. We're still trying to find out what kind of a spider it was that bit me. They were thinking brown recluse, but I haven't turned blue-green. And so I'm thinking maybe not. It could have just been I don't know what. I'll find out in a couple days. But the spider medicine is weaving webs. Weaving a peaceful world is what she hopes for. And being patient. So they also, all spiders, I believe, have 8 eyes. So they look in many directions for answers, and they see in many directions. So this is also a little bit about fate, weaving the webs of fate, and how would that apply to you if you were caught in a web of illusion in the physical world and not seen beyond the magic, or if a magician, he is creating magic that is different from the magic created with fairies in the angelic realm. He's creating magic of illusion. And so you need to look at all sides of a story before you make a decision. So spider is also a female energy and a creative force for creating beautiful designs in life, beautiful art and intricate patterns. The negative side, or the contrary side, sometimes you may have, like we talked about earlier, you haven't eaten well, and so you're feeling anxious and anxiety and a little snippy and snapping at your loved ones. And so you have to take a look at how that harasses your partner. If negative criticism is something that you keep spewing out, then that's going to break down your relationship. It will not be a good, loving relationship, because nobody likes to be criticized all the time. So how do you make comments that are encouraging? Well, you stop. If you're feeling bad, you stop and you do a reality check. How am I feeling? Back to halt. Am I hungry, angry, lonely, tired? How am I feeling? Do I need to eat something? Have I had enough rest? Do I need to just sit down and take a break? Shift my focus, do something different for a little bit, and then get back to the thing that's really being a challenge for me. And then how would I like to be talked to? So the angels, they will help you all the time. They are waiting for you to ask for help. And so when you ask them for help, they are like, it's like a resounding yes, even though I don't know how many actual physical angels there are on earth, but they seemed pretty big. Okay, so we've talked about quite a few things now. So the God box, putting a piece of paper, writing on a piece of paper with whatever is troubling us. That's a good way to alleviate some of your stress or anxiety. Taking a negativity diet, that means not watching the news or listening to gossip or talking about people that in a negative way. If you can't say anything good about someone, don't say anything at all. That's a really good thing to think about. And then turn down the volume. Create your own monitor that is a gauge for you to be able to focus on what is happening in your body, your head, your thinking, and you turn the volume down on it. And all of these, each step of the way, you can get your angels' help. If you tell the angels, everybody has a guardian angel, and everybody has at least 3 angels that hang around all the time. Some have more. And so you appoint one of them to be your manager. You appoint one of them to be your helper. And they will ask them to remind you these things. When you get hungry and tired, to remind you you have to eat. Oh my gosh, now. You have to eat now. And that they're being persistent. And with self-monitoring, with turning down the volume on the negativity, then you have more room for the positive. So picture this. Oh yes, and we talked about spider medicine. Animal medicine is what this is. It's out of a book that's called Medicine Cards with her name is Jamie Sams, and David Carson made a beautiful book of medicine cards, animal wisdom. So what was I going to say? Oh, creating positive. You can also create an angel box that's your positive affirmations. These are things that it could be a feel-good box that you write all these little pieces of paper. Make them pretty, make them fun, that you are going to put into a box. And so when you're feeling kind of down and out or down, not so good, maybe you need some friendship, you need a hug, you can reach into this angel box and pull out a piece of paper, and it will give you an affirmation. Something like another card that I pulled today, everything lost is found again. Every hurt is healed again. That's a powerful affirmation. And you can make something like that for yourself. That the different things that you've seen over time, sayings or words that particularly speak to you, you write them on a little card, maybe like a business-sized card, and put them in this box. And then when you need a positive thought, you just draw that out of the box. And there you have it. And let yourself focus on that for a couple of minutes. And believe me, it will help make you feel better, more positive. And you will be especially positive when it works for you and you feel the shift that just happened to you from being hungry and tired to being, hey, I can take care of myself and be gentle with myself and feel good. I want to thank you for listening today. I love sharing the information with you, and I hope you will enjoy what I have to say and bring me some feedback. If you are trying these things, let me know how they work for you. I would love that. You can reach me at angelslightyourway.com. Send an email, if you wish, to MaryAiñe at Angels Light Your Way, and that is MaryAiñe at angelslightyourway.com. Or you can send it to MaryAiñe at Return to Joy. So that's MaryAiñe at returntojoy.com. It's the numeral 2, not the word. I will be back with you in 2 weeks. In the meantime, have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day if that's a holiday that you enjoy, and stay out of trouble. It's a wonderful day to have fun and eat some really good corned beef and cabbage and yummy stuff. Get together with your family, if that's a tradition that you have followed, and take care of each other. So you are listening to Angels Light Your Way, and I will have another show at 4 p.m. on March 28th. And we will be talking about, I have forgotten what we're going to talk about. It's sometimes it is current events, and sometimes it is just what's going on that day. So we always have leading perspectives to help you change your day and make it a great day. We are having lots of good weather, and I'm enjoying that. I'm thankful and grateful that the trees are getting watered, and all of the trees, everything, our aquifers are getting filled up, our reservoirs. And so being grateful for the gifts that we're given is very important too. More coming. And with that, enjoy your weeks, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for listening in. This is MaryAiñe Curtis of Angels Light Your Way, and make it a great day. It's up to you to make your day as good as you are able. All right, Espavo, namaste. So much love. Blessings. And bye for now.
The moderator has left the conference.